Right, where are we up to? I'll just mute that cosmic sound. We're up to this. Now, for obscure reasons, I mean, I should explain, shouldn't I, really? Because that's what this is about. Anyway, I wanted to... I'm not that worried about the initial surface colour because I'm going to do this as a winter camouflage with lots of white paint. So I did the one sprue very strong green, and the other sprues I did black just for creating depth and shadow. So here we are with bits that are black and bits that are green, because obviously the sprue isn't completely thematic in its layout. I'm then going to do some more green, obviously, different shades of green, and that sits nicely on there. It's a powerful looking tank, isn't it? The interesting thing, you can see the different greens there. The interesting thing about doing these starkly different colours, green and black don't exactly go together marvellously well, is that you can see the bits. So here we are with the tank with lots of little bits having been applied. And obviously there's a lot more to go. So that is our tank coming along quite nicely. There are a few parts that make me just go, oh, this is... ugh. I'm really not keen on these. Hang on. Let's move it. I'm doing my own work as well. They're just small... They appear to be covers for various things. They're little conical bumps, and they don't exactly have the greatest surface to go onto. Some you get slight depressions to put them in, very, very faint. Others, nothing at all, and it's just joyless, really. All the other bits are great fun. Putting all the little hatches on round there. What a laugh. Sticking that whacking great housing on to the front of the hull. Marvellous fun. But not them. Which brings on another topic, which I found when I was making the other Tamiya one of these Russian tank hunters. Can't remember the number. Su122 something. Oh, can't remember. We'll be doing that later. Anyway, you have the hatch wide open and a man sitting in it, and you have another figure, the driver, who's there, and you can have the hatch wide open for him, and they're both very big and there's no interior. And even as a kid I thought, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Because you can see in, even with the fella sitting on the top and his legs going in, you can still see into this just emptiness, this void. So in the end I took the fella off and I broke the hatch and closed it up because it looked so bad. Did the same with the front one as well, but I think the bloke's still in there to this day. And it's a real shame because you've got all these nice little hatches. You could have loads of stuff up. If you had some interior, it would be well worth the bother. I dare say some of the better, more modern manufacturers do provide that, so maybe I should look out for them. Anyway, I've rambled enough in this section, just done a load of little bits, but we're moving on. And obviously things are moving on. Another shade of green. Gun is in place. What a whopper. And I think that's most of the little bits and pieces, actually. Just a few sort of rods and handles and things, and a shovel. But I am liking those racks for the fuel tanks, and oh, that looks very, very interesting. I might go for that look, because if I change my mind, all I have to do is stick the fuel tanks on. That's logic, that is. I'm impressed by myself there. we are virtually there. Got the gun on, all the major bits. I've ended up going for 2 fuel tanks, because if this is going to be in a winter campaign, supply can't be relied upon, so carry everything with you that you can, which means I'm going to have a few bags and boxes. I've got some leftover bags and boxes from the T-34 and a few other things. I just started putting them on when I realised I shouldn't do that yet, because I want to have this one very muddy, very weathered and worn, and with a winter camouflage and all of that. So this is the point where I need to put the winter camouflage and the weathering on. So I moved on slightly, and we probably won't see it, but no. Inside there is a load of gloop, glue and all sorts to bring a bit of mud to the fore. That's just layer 1. And now and again you've got to do it. The bent mud guard. Not very good at the moment. I'm going to bring a bit more. In fact, I might take a completely different approach, and I will do the same to the 2 at the back, but not the 2 at the front. Symmetry is not necessarily our friend. And then I'll put some bags and stuff on. I'm not going to put much around this section because this is the character shaping area of the tank. This is where we see the real design. But this section is all T-34, which we know and love and is very regular. So lots of bags, boxes and fabric. It's always the case, but I was looking online anyway to see the kind of stuff that they put on these, and it's chock-a-block with rolls of fabric, giant rolls of fabric. Goodness knows what they're doing with them. They must have pavilions and stuff. So maybe they're throwing them over the tank. I mean, I'd assume most fabric is things like tents, but they're so much and so big. Seriously, what are they up to? And suddenly the clouds parted and we've got some rather nice light today. So I might just pop this out, no tracks on, but I might just pop it out and get some full-on daylight onto this one, just to see how things have gone. I have splodged 2 different shades of green around now over the surface and put a little bit of bare metal on. It's all rough and ready at this point because I'm going to cover it largely in white paint, so I'm not too worried. Hello, the cat's on the warpath. I mean, particularly rough around there. It'll all get tidied up basically. So let's go out and have a look. Right, so we're outside. It's not complete, no tracks, you see, but here we are having a look. Things were so dull indoors and suddenly the sun came out, so let's make the most of it. We've got a green tank, so it's going to get smothered in whitewash, I suppose. Simple as that really, isn't it? Although I have seen some photographs of German tanks covered in chalk, and it can't have been very big bits of chalk because they're rather scrapey, but anyway, that's for another day. And yes, I'm going to start to do things like bend up the softer bits of metal, thinner bits of metal around the edges, particularly at the front there, and there'll be another one at the back. So it's gradually sort of heading towards overkill. That's intentional. This looks like the kind of monster that will get itself into trouble and find its way out again. So it's you know, kind of at stage 1 here. Here is your standard thing with a few dents and scratches, and those boxes on the back. I'm going to go on and on about them. I wish I hadn't glued them on when I did. We won't hear the end of that, I'm sure. Anyway, so yeah, your standard green, fairly straightforward, a little bit of mud, a little bit of damage. It's going to get plastered in much more, and then we're going to get stowage and that kind of thing. So that's all to look forward to. Get the tracks on and away we go kind of thing. So hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. More on the way.